we're back. You know, Bryce, this has been fun hanging out with you today. I think that somebody should pick us up and actually run a new show with us because, you know, it was a lot of fun working with you around the country.
I do miss you, Ronnie. I do miss you.
Now, one of the things that I am often asked, in fact, quite often when people meet me, they say, it's bizarre, you really are exactly like you are on the show. And it's true. I think I'm a little bit older than you. So for me, I just went, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. And if they don't like me, we'll make one series. And if they do, we might eke 4 out of it. Did you find that you had to actually learn special skills or have to actually modify your style in any way?
Yeah, no, you were much more authentic as yourself early. It took me a little while to get to that because, look, to be honest, Ronnie, you've been a listing agent. You were a buyer's agent helping owner-occupiers. I'm a degree qualified accountant who's a financial planner who spent my whole career up until that point helping investors buy properties, not owner-occupiers, investors, right? So I'm comfortable in demographics and is this a good suburb and why should you think of investing there? But as soon as it come, you know, walking around going, all right, Spanish mission architecture, look at these beautiful, like I was a fish out of water, right? So for me in those early days, it was about getting a new dialogue and a new understanding around, because I love property and I love the stories behind the people, but it was just kind of all this stuff coming at once. Whereas you were, I think you're 1 or 2 years older than me, Ronnie. And very comfortable in what you were doing and what your space was. So you transitioned really well. I feel really comfortable with the persona that I have now. But that first season, I found it daunting. I found it difficult, and I didn't adjust as quickly as you did.
It was quite funny actually because you were so funny off air, and on air it was like, Bryce, give us the jokes. You're a funny dude. You're a funny guy. I reckon that finally, if anyone hangs around and works out which series that you actually kicked into, the funny guy comes out. And well, I remember seeing it go, yes, everyone's getting a taste of the full Bryce.
Well, there comes a point, as you know, that the camera being there becomes second nature. And as soon as that happens, then you feel comfortable. And I think I don't know if you remember that far back, but I used to think I was smashing my career with every single word that came out of my mouth because I didn't understand the concept of the editing room floor. I didn't understand the concept that not every single thing that I was saying every single day with this hours and hours of footage wasn't going to make it. And I probably didn't catch this quick enough, and you probably caught it quicker than me. They were actually trying to find the good bits.
Yeah,
they weren't actually trying to find the rubbish bits, right? So if I had have actually had some peace with that early on, I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more.
They're not trying to catch us out. Interestingly enough, I remember in the audition, one of the producers, I think it was Brooke, said, look, we'll be filming 50 hours of footage for a 48-minute show. And it was like, 50 hours. And then it's what I thought, you know, it's so much of that, just do the simple math, hits the cutting room floor. It doesn't matter if I stuff it up.
Yeah.
So I think I'm lucky I heard that.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, clearly I missed that. I didn't go to the orientation day. But,
the classic was, I was quite daunted by you though, because you knew Perth, you had lived in Queensland and worked up there, you lived in Melbourne. And so there's 3 states that you had total coverage, a total understanding of, at least in the capital cities. And I am Sydney born and bred and only ever lived here and only ever worked here. And then I'm thrust out there in these different markets. And so very steep learning curve, and I've learned how to find out what you don't know and then to find it to make sure you know it. But also the way that property is transacted is so different across every state in this country. And that was a massive learning curve for me. And I think I turned to you quite a lot through that time to go, okay, well, how do we do an offer? How do you do an offer in Queensland? How do you do an offer in Victoria?
Well, yeah, and that was an advantage, but pity the producers did a lot of New South Wales shoots, right? So it went straight into your strength. But whilst we're dishing out compliments, I mean, your street savvy around being able to think on your feet, I think's remarkable and second to none, right? So that we used to feed off each other, and I used to lean on your strengths, you used to lean on mine. We used to make a really good team. But making television, I'll just see if I can tell this quick story, but it sort of epitomises behind the scenes, right? But I remember I was showing a couple some properties on the Gold Coast. They were really nice properties, And I'm standing on the point at Burleigh looking towards the Surfers Paradise skyline, and we're having that wrap-up chat. And there was one property where if they wanted to go for it, we had to go to auction. And I get to the wrap-up chat and they go, no, we don't want to go for this. And I'm thinking, great, I've just got a newborn at home, which is like days old. So I took the opportunity to jump on a plane, go home. And then as I had to fly home via Sydney to get to Melbourne, and my phone's pinging as soon as I land in Sydney, and the producers are ringing me going, Bryce, they actually really love the property. And I go, what happened? They said, well, they went home and they looked on the internet and they realised you were actually showing them the best properties available. I'm like, I know. So I got home about midnight, and then I woke up in the morning. I'm pushing my newborn up to the cafe in the morning, and the producer rings and she goes, oh, look, they want to do it. And I'm thinking, yeah, no problem. Send a camera crew around to my house. And she goes, no, this one we think would be better if you're there. And I'm like, I just got home at midnight. And they go, yeah, we know. So I've just looked at Andrea, my wife. She's given me one of those looks like, just do what you got to do, buddy. But like, don't expect me to be.
Don't come home.
Yeah. So I jump on a plane. I'm pretty much getting a cab, and I said to the guy, if you can get me to the cab to make this flight, I'll double your fare, right? Because I was handing around Foxtel cab vouchers, so I could do that, right? This particular person, I felt like I was in a game of Mario Brothers collecting the mushrooms on the tollways on the way through. I get onto the plane, and then we land. We're delayed. I get on the plane, and then the engineer comes on. They said, not Bryce. They said, passengers, if you could all look out the window to the left, you'll see there's a Jetstar plane, 2 planes up, and we all look out. We go, yep, and they go, that's good because you're about to get off the plane we're on. We're about to get onto that one. So we're all like cats trying to get off because there was engineering problems. So this is a real long story. I try and make it as short as possible. I get up to the Gold Coast. The producers are going, where are you? And I'm ringing them on the plane. I'm running out. And you remember the old days of the iPhone, how it had that lightning bolt when you ran out of, charge? So I get there. I get on the plane on the Gold Coast, and then I'd run up to the door on the Gold Coast. I plug my phone in. And then you used to have to wait about 5 minutes for the phone to charge. So I'm waiting for the 5 minutes ring. The producer said, I'm here, no problem. They go, quick, come here. I had to call the agent. They had to keep everything a secret just to get that television moment. I get up to the thing. The producer goes, you're right. And I'm going, I am so flustered. It's not funny. And they go, right, ready? 3, 2, 1, open the door. Then when I've organised for the agent to ring me at the right time to tell me the news. And then they jump over the table. They hug me. They go, oh, this is so great. This is so amazing. And then I walk out and I just collapse into the hallway and I go, if only everyone knew what it took to actually get that moment on television real, because it was real. We had to, because if we told them it would never be the same again. It was just, and you could probably tell a million stories too, but it's just, so this is the real stuff that happens, right? It actually happened. We're actually doing live deals, and we had to keep the television jeopardy alive because each episode was about $250,000 each. So the producer's like, do whatever you need to do, but just don't stuff that moment up.
And you were so much better at keeping a straight face when you're trying to tell them they got the property. Whereas me, I'd always give it up because I get this little smirk on my face. Say it on you.
You did. I'd look at my wife and go, she got it. That's the one. So yeah.
Yeah, you can turn off the television. The ads, the sponsorships, it all failed if I was the one doing the deal because I'd give it away.
No, it was all a bit of fun. So I don't know how you see it. I'm professionally blessed. I am so lucky to have done the shows with you. I'm so lucky to have done Escape from the City. You and I love property. We get to travel around the country and see rainforest properties up in far north Queensland, Tasmanian acreages over in, like, it was just such an awesome time that you and I had. And I look back at it, I just feel really fortunate.
Yeah, no, it was a great opportunity. And I have to say, I learned so much. And even what I'm doing with Home Buyer Academy now, you know, helping first home buyers across the country and mentoring them online, I can actually picture a lot of what they're going through and where they're buying and all that sort of stuff, only because I had that experience. So it's actually been fantastic. It's been so good catching up with you. I'm sort of tongue in cheek when I say we need another series, but because neither of us actually have time to do one. But I do. This has reminded me of how much I love working with you. So thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Ronnie.